So welcome everybody to Webinar Wednesday. For this, the 5th of May, I'm Stuart Lawler from Sight and Sound Technology. And as always, my colleague Carl Brealey is with us. Great to have Carl back. And today we're absolutely delighted to welcome back Steve Nutt. It's Steve's second time coming to Webinar Wednesday. So that means hopefully we were nice to him the first time. I'm delighted to have Steve back. It's always great to catch up with Steve because I think in some ways more than anyone, Steve is always looking at the newest technology and always kind of innovating around the edges to see what's out there. And I think today is no exception. We're going to be talking about something called the NaviBelt. I'm really interested to hear about this. And we've had a lot of feedback during the week from people who said, I want to know more. So thanks, Steve. Just before we hand over to Steve, we'd love you to interact with us today. And you can do that on the Zoom meeting platform by raising your hand. If you're on Windows, you can press Alt and H. If you're on the mobile platform, you can activate the raise hand button. Sorry, I should have said Alt and Y on Windows, not Alt and H. If you want to chat, it's Alt and H. Or on the mobile platform, you can activate the chat option. And Carl will be keeping a close eye on the raised hands and chats. So, Steve, I think it was last June when we spoke to you last. How have you been, and how is life going in the world of computer room services?
Well, it's a bit strange because we haven't been going to exhibitions and stuff like that, so it's been kind of harder to get people to get hands-on to equipment. But other than that, because we've been doing a lot of Zoom meetings, including yours, for which thank you, it's been great because we can spend more time talking about focusing on one product rather than going back and forth between. I think my website's got about 180 products on it now, so.
Wow.
So it's kind of hard for me to keep up sometimes. I think, what does this product do? What button do I press there? We've got quite a few products on the website, and so when I go to an exhibition, I never know what I'm going to be talking about. But doing these, we can be a little bit more focused.
Yeah, as we're going to be today. And I suppose I know from chatting to you in the past, you've been looking at wearable technology for quite a while now. Do you think it's kind of it has started to maybe to mature a bit, because it was a bit wacky at the start, was
it? Ish. I think we've gone sideways. What I mean by that is, for example, that I've been concentrating on kind of smart glasses and things like that. And first of all, we had Cyber Eyes, which we sold, and now the company no longer exists. But now we have Envision AI, which you sell, but I think Envision AI is sideways rather than the improvement. For example, Cyber Eyes used to recognize facial expressions. So you could look at it, you could look at someone and say, Carl is smiling. And if you taught it Carl's name, it will literally say that, Carl is smiling. And Envision AI is not close to that yet. So Cyber Eyes was way ahead of its time. And I think they ran out of money or something, because they did go, they've gone under, the company have gone under, they don't make their glasses anymore. And they used to do it on Google Glass like Cyber Eyes do, but they did it on the original Google Glass, and the Google Glass itself wasn't so good. But the actual Cyber Eyes, with its mood ring thing, as they called it, I used to love the logo, not the logo, but the advertising on Cyber Eyes said mood ring saves and destroys marriages all over the world. Because all of a sudden blind people knew people's facial expressions.
Yeah.
And
very good.
Quick story about that. I was in a restaurant with my previous assistant, Emma, and we was away for an exhibition. And she said, I'm just going to take a phone call. And she came back from taking the phone call and she was really quiet. Normally what I would have done as a blind person said, are you okay, Em? Or something like that, But instead I looked at her with the glasses and just clicked, and it said very sad. And I wish we could have that again in Envision AI. I hope they get there. I hope they use Google's analysis of images and facial expression like that, because they teach faces, but they don't analyze them, if that makes sense.
Yeah, and it's really interesting because I think in iOS, well, I know Seeing AI, but I think even in the iOS Photos app, it will tell you something, somebody's looking happy or smiling.
Yes, it does. Yeah. And of course it does that in some Android apps as well.
Yeah.
But we haven't got it in glasses yet, which I really enjoyed when we had Cyber Eyes. And I mean, Cyber Eyes still works, but we can't sell it anymore because we can't get it anymore. So that was a bit of a shame. But so I've been looking at all different kind of wearables and, you know, Apple Watches, Android watches and things like that. And Android watches are really quite accessible now. They're just as accessible as Apple Watches, which is really great. And now I've come to this, which is where we come to today, which is the NaviBelt. Now, as it happens, somebody on one of the public email lists, the blind email lists, said to me just out of interest on Access UK, I believe it was, Stuart. I don't know if you're on that one. And just came up and said, has anyone heard of the NaviBelt? And I hadn't heard of it. So I then, you know, got the information. The company's called FeelSpace. And you'll see why it's called FeelSpace when we get to the demo of the belt. So it's called FeelSpace, and they're in Germany. And I never heard of it. and I emailed them and I said, you know, I'd like to think about selling in the UK. Can I have a demo of a belt and we'll see how we get on? And quite frankly, I find it fantastic for me, because, well, as I say, this is probably a good time now to go into the demo. Should we do that? Or it won't be a demo as such. It'll be a, you know, talk about it more, but I'll show you the belt as well so that, you know, Carl and anyone that can see the belt. Should we go into that now? So yep. The belt.
Yeah, absolutely.
The belt itself looks like this. Can you see that?
Yeah, we've got it.
Yeah. So what you've got is you've got a belt which is Velcro. It's material. What would you call that material, Dev? I don't know. What do you call it? I don't know what you call it. It's nice and it's. I don't know what material it is, but it's very nice and fabric, if that makes sense. And it just goes around your waist, and it's very elastic and it stretches. And there is a piece of string on the material which tells you what part should be at your stomach. And then inside the belt there is a box, and the box has 4 buttons on it, and it's plugged into the belt. So you unplug it, rather like unplugging a pair of headphones, and you can then put the belt itself in the wash. So you can actually put it in the washing machine. So the belt is purely material, and then you've got this plastic box. The box has 4 buttons. It has 1 button on its own at the top, and then you go down and it's got a row of 3 buttons. And the 1 button on its own is the compass button, and the 3 buttons are the favorites button. So when you're at a location, you can just press this button and add it to favorites. And then you've got the home button, which is the middle button, and then you've got the on-off button. So if I turn the belt on, you won't hear anything. But what it does, and I should explain that the belt's got 16 vibrate motors. So inside the belt is vibrate motors all around your body. So when it goes around your body as a circle, it feels like a continuous circle. There's no break in the vibration, if that makes sense. So when you turn it on, it goes round your body, and it goes round your body twice, and the second time it stops wherever the battery level is. So if it goes around your body twice completely, that's 100%. If it goes around your body once and then halfway around your body and then stops, it's 50% the battery. So you know immediately how much battery's in the box. The box is rechargeable, so it's a mini USB. It's not USB-C, which is a shame, but it's mini USB, and you charge it. It only takes a couple of hours to charge, and it gives you 8 hours of continuous use. That means you can be out walking with it for 8 hours. So before we get into the app, there is an app, a location app, a navigation app for the belt. And again, this is quite unique. Before we get into that, we'll talk about what we can do with the belt on its own. So if you don't have an iPhone app, this belt is still, or an Android app, this belt is still useful. So if you press the compass button, it will vibrate a certain part of your body depending on what way you're facing. So if you're facing north, it will vibrate directly at your stomach. If you turn around and you face, for example, east, it will vibrate the opposite side to you. So if you turn right, it'll vibrate left, if that makes sense. And that's how it works all the way through it. And when it's vibrating directly at your back, you're facing south. So in a simple way, you can always know what direction you're going. Oh, thank you. Sorry, my iPhone's ringing. I don't know quite why there. There we go. When you're facing south, the vibration is directly at your back. When you're facing north, it's directly at your stomach. So it's a simple mode of walking about and knowing what direction you're going. That is quite useful. That's quite interesting. But it's not the most interesting feature, even without the phone. It's my favorite feature is called beeline mode. Now, when you press the compass button twice quickly, you double tap it, what it does is it vibrates directly at your stomach. It's always directly at your stomach at the point you press that button. And as you walk, so if you imagine when you walk across the road, how many of you walk across the road without veering? So if you veer, obviously you're going to walk more into the road, more towards the cars or whatever. If you veer to the left on this, it will move to the right. And if you veer to the right, it will move to the left. So you know that you're walking in a dead straight line. And you can see that's quite useful to blind people, isn't it? Because if you're walking across the road, it enables you to walk straight. And I don't know about you, Stuart, because you're totally blind like me, but isn't it difficult to walk straight when you've got no reference point?
It's extremely difficult. At least I find it extremely difficult.
Yes.
And I still find it extremely difficult.
Yes, so do I. Well, I did until I got the belt. But now you can walk dead straight, and so long as you keep that vibrate constant at your stomach, then it will, you'll be fine. You'll know that you're walking straight. And then when you've crossed the road, or whatever point you want to walk straight, you just press the compass button again, and it goes back to telling you what direction you're going. So that is kind of using the belt without any navigation GPS app. However, once you bring the app into play, it gets really quite interesting. So what you do is just like a normal GPS app, and you set your destination. So you can set it via points of interest or via address. So you can set your local post office or whatever, or you can set it by address and start walking. Now, what happens is the phone treats it like a normal GPS app. So it just talks to you and it gives you your turn-by-turn guidance. However, the belt can do one of several things. So what you can do is you can put the belt into turn-by-turn mode, beeline mode, or both. If you put it in beeline mode, it does what it does when you're crossing the road. So in other words, if you're walking towards your destination, it will vibrate at your stomach so long as you're going the right direction. Okay, that's just beeline mode. So if you just need that, if you know where you're going, but you just want to make sure you're walking straight towards your destination, then you just put it on beeline mode. If you put it on turn-by-turn mode, what it does then is it vibrates your stomach if you're going in the right direction. But then when there is a right turn or a left turn coming up, it will then move the vibrate over to that side. So it will tell you by vibrating to turn right. Or if obviously turning left, it will tell you to turn left. If you put it into GPS mode, as in beeline mode and turn-by-turn mode, what it will do is it will always have a pulsing vibration at your stomach, so you know what direction you're going. Or if you veer, it will move, but it's a bit like walking straight. But it will also vibrate, a single vibrate on the side where you need to turn. So as you're walking up, and you can set the distance before you know the turn as well, so 20 meters, 10 meters, or whatever. And then it will vibrate on the side you need to turn. So if you need to turn right, it'll vibrate on your right-hand side. But that pulsing vibrate at your stomach is still going. So you've got beeline and turn-by-turn, or you've got turn-by-turn, or you've got beeline. That essentially is the belt. Now, it's unusual wearable, isn't it? Because just from my point of view, your hands are not tied. You've got nothing in your hands. Your ears are not tied, so because you're not listening to anything. You're just feeling a gentle vibration, or gentle, or you can up the intensity as well. A gentle vibration, and you know what to turn, and it becomes second nature. So this, let me just get you to understand that this is not an obstacle detector. It doesn't find obstacles. Its idea is to give you direction. And so that's really the belt. As I say, 8 hours of use, and as I say, nice tight Velcro. So when you open that up, you can hear that, and you can just take the belt off, and it's elasticated. So when you order one, we have to ask you one personal question: what waist size do you have? Because they come different waist sizes. There are 4 different waist sizes, so they've got very small, small, medium, no, 5 actually. I think they've got very small, small, medium, large, and very large. I think that's it. So, and there's a size guide on my website for the different in centimeters, the different things. There's an iPhone and an Android app. At this point, I would definitely say the iPhone app is definitely better than the Android app. And the belt connects to the app via Bluetooth. So when you first get it, you put the belt into pairing mode just by holding down the favorites button for 5 seconds, and then it vibrates. Now, the last thing to say about the belt is when you first turn it on, like I said to you, it vibrates around your body to give you battery. If you don't put it into any mode, if you then just leave it, it keeps on vibrating both sides of you. So it just keeps giving, it's almost like a dig in the ribs, because it gives you a vibrate both sides of you every 5 seconds just to tell you it's turned on, because you're not using the compass and you're not using any mode at the moment. The same applies if you're using the compass and you stand still for more than a couple of minutes. Then it will start digging you in the ribs as well. And all you need to do then is press the pause button, which is the middle button. That's the home and the pause button, and you then press it again to resume your journey. Press the compass button, and it tells you what direction you're going, and that's really all there is to the belt. I was wondering how the heck I'm going to get a demonstration of a belt in 2 hours, but I'm not going to do it because that's all there is. So at this point, it might be worth taking questions.
Thanks, Steve. And you only have to do an hour. You don't even have to do an hour if you don't want, so no pressure. How much does it cost?
That's the good one. It's $1,995.
Okay. And I know you said 8 hours battery usage. How long to full charge? How long does it take to charge it, I suppose, from
2 to 2.5 hours.
Okay, brilliant.
Yeah.
It sounds great. I love just the whole idea of being able to cross in a straight line.
I know beeline mode is fantastic.
Problem a lot of us have. But let's go over to Carl and see. I think there probably are some raised hands and some people want to ask you questions.
We do. We just got one from Ricky Downard. It just says, is it a coincidence FeelSpace sounds almost exactly like the German for lots of, and then it's missed the last part of it. So I don't actually know what that was. And as I haven't done German since I was 16, I wouldn't even like to hasten a guess. We've got Caroline Chews. She's put this has a huge potential for the deaf-blind as well.
Absolutely.
If it's hard to hear traffic sound. So, I mean, obviously having the ability, it could make a massive difference, and it does look really good. Right, we've got a few hands up now, so I'm just going to go over to Donald Wilson. If you could just unmute yourself, please.
Before we go on to that, Carl, I was just going to say, even for blind people, when you're listening to GPS, I'm sure you bear me out, Stuart, as well, that you can't always hear it because there's a lot of traffic noise. And so if you're in a really noisy environment, it has that advantage as well.
Yeah, and you know, it's funny you say it. I always think when I'm outside, my phone's not loud enough. Then when I go back inside, it's too loud.
Yeah,
forever tweaking the volume on my phone. So yeah, I completely agree with you. So Donald, you might just want to unmute yourself and we be delighted to take your question. I might just have to just respond to the unmute request.
There we go.
Hi, Donald. I don't think we're hearing you.
You are unmuted.
The mic ain't working.
Might be the mic, yeah.
Right, we'll come back to you in a little while if that's okay, Donald. So we've got Sheila Armstrong. Sheila, if you can just unmute yourself, please.
I think Sheila's a pretty regular Webinar Wednesday attendee. She's been with us before. She's been with us a few times, I think. So welcome back, Sheila. You just need to unmute yourself.
Yeah, sorry. Have I got it?
Hi, Sheila. We have
Hello?
you. Yeah.
Oh, hi. Yeah, this is the first time I've been on, actually.
So there's another Sheila. Apologies.
Yeah, it must be someone else. I retired from Torch Trust last Friday, so I'm free to do a bit more of this kind of thing. What I wanted to know was, if you Bluetooth the belt to the iPhone or the app, can you then Bluetooth, say, Aftershok's headphones as well?
Absolutely, yes.
Yeah, because
Yes. Because it's not an audio device, you see, so it's not taking over the audio service. So you're only Bluetoothing the input. It's more like a keyboard than audio, if that makes sense. So it's getting input and output, but it's not audio. So yes, you can Bluetooth any audio device to it.
okay, thanks.
Brilliant, thank you. I just had a quick, bear me 1 second. Christine, I did reply in the chat box. You can't mute or unmute yourself until we allow it. It's not a free open chat box. So if you do have a question, please put your hand up and then I can unmute you and you can ask your question from there. But other than that, you won't see a mute or unmute until we request you to actually unmute.
Yeah, exactly, because this is a webinar as opposed to a Zoom meeting, so it's slightly different.
Thank you. Yeah.
But if you put your hand up and we unmute you, then you can speak.
Right. Next up, Arthur Aston. If you could unmute yourself, please.
Hello. Thanks very much. That's very
Hi,
interesting. Very interesting explanation. Sorry, can I just ask, in terms of entering a destination?
Yeah.
Do you have to enter that by text, or, for example, if you're entering it on the app, is there a dictate option? Because like yourself, I think I'm totally blind, so tapping on a screen doesn't do a lot of good for me. And
absolutely, yeah. There's you enter it with the normal iPhone or Android keyboard, so there's a dictate button.
Right. So presumably that acts in the same way as similar way to actually having a voice activation on the app.
Yes,
yeah?
it's the same. it just you can speak into the text box for the destination.
And finally, if I could, just on the same thing, is I use a lot of way marker labeling. So I assume that when I enter a location, or if I'm somewhere and I want to put in a way marker point, I can simply go through that same process of putting it in and then saving that. Does that save as a favorite?
That's a very good point, and that's something I forgot to say. Yes, not only can you save that as a favorite, but when you reach any favorite, the belt will vibrate both sides of you to tell you that you've reached one of your marks.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Brilliant. Thank you for that, Arthur. Let's just quickly move that one. We've got Graham Page. If you could unmute yourself. In the meantime, Lisa Redford's just asked, Steve, does it also give you the benefit of toning up your core muscles at the same time?
Oh, it gives you the benefit of a vibrator on you all the time. But no, it's quite gentle. So no, it don't do that really.
That's a great question, though.
Graham, it's all yours, sir.
Yeah, there's a couple of brief points, really. First of all, you say that this belt is washable.
Yeah.
A lot of people would be a little bit scared of bunging something worth 1,995 quid in the wash.
You're not, Graham, because you're not putting the box in the wash.
But you say the vibrating bits go round the belt.
Yes.
So then obviously you're still putting the vibrating motors through the wash.
Yeah, but they actually do tell me you can put it in the wash at 30 degrees.
Yeah. Okay. So 30 degrees as a maximum. That's useful to know. Yeah, that's useful to know. And also, I understand that you can connect to the phone by Bluetooth. How does the belt connect to the box?
But it just plugs in. It's got a little plug, and it literally plugs into the box. So it's like a wired tube, if you like, that goes and plugs into the belt itself.
Yeah, and where is the box? I mean, when it's plugged into the belt, is there?
So the box is just above my right trouser pocket.
Yeah.
So the box just fits right near your trouser pocket, but it don't get in the way of putting your hand in your pocket, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, so it fits. So the box is on the belt when it's connected, when it's assembled.
Yeah, it's about as big as a cigarette box.
Okay, yeah, that's useful. Thanks very much.
Very small.
Yeah, with 3 buttons. That's great. Thanks a lot.
Very welcome. Thank you for that, Graham. Next up, we have Mr. Beveridge. Come in, Mr. Beveridge.
The one and only Stuart
Mr.
Beveridge.
Stuart.
It's Mr. Stuart.
I saw him at the Envision AI, didn't I?
Representing Scotland.
Yes.
Yep, you'll actually be with us next week, Steve, for our webinar. There's a plug.
I know, I can't keep away, can I?
Yeah, no, it's great though, and this is really interesting. When I first saw it, I just a couple of quick questions, Steve. Is there a user guide for this thing? Because I cannot seem to find one online. So I just wondered if you could point me in the right direction.
There is a user guide for it. I do have a user guide for it, and it's in Germish.
I wondered. Yeah.
So it needs a bit of massaging, which I'm getting to doing, and we need to translate it a bit. But I can send you it by email. If you drop me an email,
I will do.
I'll send you the thing. It didn't really go into the compass very well, so we need to expand on the explanation, because I couldn't work out at first whether the north was your stomach and the south was your back, or the other way around, because it moves the opposite way to the way you move. But of course that makes sense, because if you move to the right of something, it moves left, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
So of course it is north at your stomach and south at your back.
Yeah, that's completely understandable. Yeah. I mean, the only other ones I had, I suppose, just on the ordering thing, I have a bit of a funny waist size. I'm between a 30 and a 32. So I had a wee look on your website. Would that be like a medium I would have to take, or a small?
To be fair, it would probably be a medium. Or small. I can't remember what's 32 in centimeters. Hang on.
You know, I did ask my as an echo that, and I can't remember.
Alexa, convert 32 inches to centimeters.
Sorry, I don't know that one.
Oh, for God's sake.
She doesn't know.
Alexa, convert 32 inches to centimeters.
32 inches is about 81.3 centimeters.
So it's going to be the 80 centimeters to 100 centimeters, I'd say. But it's also elasticated. So if you were to get the next one, so there's quite a lot of elastic there, isn't there, Deb?
Yeah.
It does stretch as well.
Right. Yeah. That's. I might give you a wee call. I'm just really interested in this thing, so I might be.
I love the beeline mode. Forget the app and all that. I just love the beeline mode.
Yeah, I mean, interestingly, that's not a feature that I'm that. Forgive me for saying I'm not too into, because the guide dog actually keeps me in a straight line anyway.
Yeah.
But for those who, I'm just thinking for my work, I know that the rehab workers at Seascape would absolutely love this thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll definitely be in touch. And just one more quick thing, I'm taking it, say like I was to set a destination on, say like my local co-op. The way I'm understanding it, if I'm correct, is it's a bit like Soundscape, but round your waist. So it's actually you can have that beacon kind of thing on going in a straight line towards that co-op. Is that
is exactly right? Yeah. So as you're walking along, depending on what mode you've got it on, so if you've got it on just turn by turn mode, it's giving you an absolute, a pulsing vibrate going in your direction that you're going, and then it just gives you a quick tap either side to tell you when to turn.
Yeah. And when you reach your destination, does it give you any signal, or is
it vibrates? It vibrates both sides of your body.
Yeah, so when I get to the co-op, it vibrates. It will sit wonderful. Thank you very much, Steve. I will be in touch.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Stuart. Good to hear from you.
Cheers, Stuart. Right. Christine, if you could just unmute yourself, please.
Hello.
Hi there, Christine.
Hello. Hi. I'm just interested. It's great for people who've got no vision whatsoever. It's fantastic. But what about if you're vision impaired? Is it worth buying? And also the other question is, say you keep putting in the washing machine all the time, could you use cleaning type wipes as well?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yes, you can do that. They're just saying you know you can wash it if it gets really dirty. I mean, I haven't washed my belt yet, but I've only been out a few times with it. But I mean, yes, I mean, for vision impaired people though, I can't really answer that because I'm totally blind. But certainly for me, it's really good. I mean, vision impaired people tend to walk straight anyway because they tend to have a hook on a handle on things because they can see in front of them the other side of the road maybe. But I don't know. I mean, would it be of use to anyone visually impaired? I don't know, to be honest.
It could be if you've got a bad sense of direction, because my problem is like there's so many definitions of vision impaired. I can't see a street name unless I go right up close to it. If it's across the road, I couldn't tell. So I can't see a person's face clearly at a short distance.
Right.
So, you know, everyone's individual. It could be worth buying. I just thought I'd ask that question because of the price.
I also think it could be useful if you don't know your left from your right. Because if you're walking along with the GPS and it's tapping you on the right hand side, you know you've got to turn that way, don't you?
Yeah, and if you're trying to find a place for the first time, I've got an iPhone, but again, sometimes you have to put so much information into the iPhone to tell you where you're going.
You have email.
Yeah.
A new destination, that sort of thing. If you're out and about a lot of the time, it could be a worthwhile investment.
Yeah.
Okay, brilliant. Thank you, Christine. I'm just going to quickly.
I'm aware it's expensive, as I say. Most of what you're paying for is the box. To be fair, you know.
Hang on 2 seconds. I've just removed Roy. There's a question from Graham Page. What maps are being used?
It's Apple Maps on iOS, I believe, and Google Maps on Android.
There you go. That was a nice and simple one. Next up, we've got Roy Warner. Roy, if you could just unmute yourself, please.
Hi, guys. Can you pick me up?
Yeah, we've got you. Yeah.
Hi, Roy.
Hi, Steve. Thanks very much for all the tips. 2 questions. The map, is it just UK or are there overseas sort of maps available?
It's overseas. It's whatever's on your phone. It's just like any regular GPS app.
Yeah, I use Lazarillo abroad, and I was wondering would it link up to something like that?
Yeah, it's much the same. So it'll actually download it. You know, it will take your location and download the map for there.
Oh, that's very handy. And the second thing is, how durable are the belts? What sort of length?
How durable are the belts? Interesting. I don't really know. I've only had mine for about 6 months. But I wouldn't have said you'd break it too easily.
No,
would you, Deb?
No. I would say
they're quite durable. They're very hardy. They're elasticated, so they go around your waist. They stretch. They're very comfortable. In fact, I did an experiment today, and I had mine on all lunchtime, and I was just sat on the sofa with my wife, you know, having a cup of coffee and a bit of lunch before I came into this meeting, and I didn't even know the belt was on.
Well, that answers that. That's it. Thank you.
Brilliant. Thank you very much for that. Let me just go back to the list now that I've just butchered.
Trousers up as well.
That'll come in handy. Donald, if you can try and unmute yourself, please. Take 2.
You might have been your mic last time, Donald. Don't think we're getting anything.
No, I'm going to have to move on, I'm afraid. We now have Emma Mead. If you can unmute yourself, Emma.
Yeah, Emma. Just need to respond to the unmute request.
Are you with? Am I with you?
Yep,
Hello,
we've got
Emma.
you.
Yeah.
Hello. I should say this is the first time I've put my hand up, and because I've been on quite a few of these, so this is quite an occasion.
Well done. Nice to have you with us. Thank you.
Okay. First of all, Stuart, you've got the best voice ever, so don't leave us.
Okay, I'm going to give Emma £50 at the end of this session for saying that. And Carl, please note that down.
No, I'm not. I'm not.
Emma is our favourite customer at Sight and Sound.
There you go.
Unless it's nice things for me, I don't care. But you are right, Emma. He has got a lovely voice. I listen to his podcast at night. He puts me to sleep in no time.
Where's me?
Your poor wife, Carl.
No. My question is, I use blind square or soundscape, like when I'm on a bus or if I want to know where I am.
Yeah.
Can you use those apps at the same time as the NaviBelt?
You bet. So basically what you do is you set your destination in the, you got an iPhone, yeah? Is that right?
Yes, iPhone 8 Plus, yes.
So what you do is you set your destination you have to set your destination twice, obviously, because you have to set your destination in NaviBelt and or FeelSpace, the app, and the blind square or whatever you're using, right?
Yes.
And all you do is don't come out of the NaviBelt app. You just press the home button to come out of it, if you know what I mean. Just go to home to come out. Don't take it out of the app switch or anything like that. And it will just carry on going in the background. What it will do though, Emma, is it won't talk to you because it knows that blind square is running. So it'll be blind square doing the talking, but the belt will be doing the vibrating.
Right. And if you didn't have blind square, does it then talk to you? Because you didn't sort of say much about the talking.
Yes, it does talk to you, but if you put it in the background, it doesn't, because it expects you're using a different app. You see?
Yeah, that makes sense. Like a sort of minimizing effect.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. That's lovely. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Emma. Nice to hear from you.
Thank you, Emma. We're going to move on to the next one. We have Chris Brady. Chris is another regular.
Yeah, regular attendee.
Yeah, some really interesting questions. I'm enjoying this.
Nice to have you back, Chris.
Right. You can hear me, folks. I'm sure
we
you
can indeed. Yeah.
Good. To the question, would this be would the NaviBelt be useful to people with residual vision? Yes, it would, and I can think of two occasions when it would be dawn and dusk, and if the lighting is bad.
Yeah.
Because especially if you're walking along a road or even across a road or somewhere where you've got to keep in a straight line, where you have bad light, but you have that sense to tell you that you're walking in a straight line, that would be invaluable. So yes, indeed it would.
Thank you for that feedback. That's really appreciated.
Yeah. Okay, Steve. No problem.
Thank you, Chris. Right, we have one more hand. I'm just going to quickly... Claire Maxwell's just asked, can you buy a replacement belt?
Yes.
There you go.
I don't know how much they are at this point, but they're nowhere near the price, if you know what I mean. As I say, the price you're paying for is the brains, the box.
Yep, no, that's fine. Brilliant. Ricky Downard just said, sounds very well engineered, RE interface and blind square and Google Maps. So it does sound very well engineered, to be fair. So it's got my thumbs up.
It works. Right. It works better on the iPhone than Android, I have to say. At the moment, that they tell me they're updating the Android app, but it does work better on the iPhone, I will say.
Okay, that's brilliant.
Yeah.
Right, Arthur Aston's back. We can't keep him away. Arthur.
Yeah. Thanks for bringing me back in. It sounds excellent, and the idea of having something around your waist so you keep your hands free is really important. I'm looking at various options for wearable at the moment, and I'm disappointed, I'll be honest, that there's no obstacle warning feature, because I mean, for my part, I do need an obstacle warning when I'm out and about. as much as I do the navigation. Well, not as much, but as well as the navigation side. So is there any thoughts of doing anything? I mean, it's quite an expensive app. Oh, sorry, it's quite an expensive product, but I mean, it's got a lot of unique unique features there. And
I don't think you'll get obstacle detection in this, because they would have to put in an echolocator to do that. So change the hardware.
Yeah,
you know,
that's what I would assume they would do. Yeah, just on the belt.
But no. Having said that, and it's fair to say that both Sight and Sound and we sell this, you could always use something like Sunu Band.
Yeah, I'm looking at Sunu Band.
And Sunu Band.
I'm having a demo on it tomorrow.
If you put that on your wrist, then you can use that, and I use Sunu Band. You can put that on your wrist, and then you can stroll along with your belt, and you'll get the object detection as well.
Fair enough. Yeah.
The thing is with the belt, I think the main feature is it's going to be worn undergarments, isn't it, and not worn undercoats, not on top of them. So you're not going to be running around with it, and like you say, to put something in like the sonar.
Yeah, I mean,
a completely different design for the.
You're absolutely right, Carl. You do wear it underneath clothing as well as over clothing. So you know, my jacket covers the box when I'm not, when I'm out, for example.
Yeah. Well,
so it wouldn't work like that, but it would still vibrate to give you direction.
The reason for asking is I'm looking for an obstacle recognition as well, because I've used an ultra cane for quite a lot of years, about 9 or 10 years. And I'm totally lost without it, so I'm looking for a replacement at the moment. So, I was just wondering how and what various different devices I need to do to cover everything I'm looking for.
If you want a direct replacement for the Ultra Cane, and I don't sell it, and Sight and Sound don't sell it as far as I know, I recommend WeWalk.
Yes, well, it's been demonstrated It's been demonstrated here. It sounds very impressive, and a lot more features than the Ultra Cane. However, as I'm sure many other people had the same reaction as I have, which is I wouldn't go near it until such time as it has a technical support and product support within the UK.
Right. Okay.
I found my my Ultra Cane. It's lasted a long time, but I've had to get it repaired on 2 occasions. You just can't possibly always avoid it falling over at some point. And
no, the difference I will say though, the difference though between that and WeWalk is that WeWalk fits to any cane.
Yes, I know that. It's just when you've got it out and you put it down on a table or you stand it against a wall and somebody knocks it over, it's prone to wear and tear in time. And the idea of not being able to get that technical support is just too much of an obstacle.
No, I agree with you. I just suggest it for what it's worth. I mean, I've been in wearables for some time,
Yeah, I mean, I'm equally impressed with the product. It's just the practical side of actually buying one and then getting the support for it.
Yeah, well, we certainly support the belt in the UK, so.
Yeah. There is also a buzz clip. I don't know who sells it, but I can't remember his name up north. He's been on this, Stuart.
Oh,
Graham Longley.
Graham Longley, that's right.
Yeah, he held the buzz clip.
Yeah, he still has the buzz clip, I think. We did used to sell it, but when we took on the Sunu Band, they took all the buzz clips off us. The Sunu Band, right? I will give you its major limitation. Is the fact that if you're wearing a coat, you're going to struggle, because I looked into even getting expandable straps, because it is a normal watch strap. The problem is, and it is shower proof as well, but the problem is that in winter it won't actually, unless you can pull your coat sleeve up and keep it out of the way.
Yeah, you can't.
How it sits on your wrist, the coat is just going to cover it, so you're not actually going to get.
Yeah, I agree with that, Carl. No, I agree with that.
Am I still unmuted?
Yes, you are. Yeah.
Sorry to come back in. As I say, I've got a demo with Sam tomorrow, but I was wondering whether on exactly that point, Carl, whether you can actually put the watch, if I can call it that, over the outside of a coat.
The strap is the standard size of a wristwatch.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't
to be fair, even if you had exceptionally large wrists, I think you'd struggle to get it round.
And also the detector sticks out, doesn't it, Carl? It's a bit like a microphone.
Yeah, it's the way it's done. I mean, don't get me wrong, you could probably walk holding it.
Yeah.
But then you're risking 249 quid or 240 pounds of stuff falling out your hand on the floor.
Well, we've got another device. If you want a handheld device, we've got another one called Ray, which is 175 quid, and it feels like a torch. You hold it in your hand, and that will detect objects as well. So that's another option.
Right. Again, you know, as you rightly mentioned before, I mean, not, you know, it's worth a thought, but you know, when you're using a white cane as part of your navigation, your movement around, you're already limited on what you can put in another hand, aren't you?
I think that's where buzz clip comes in, because you can clip it to your cane.
Clip it, yeah.
I've heard of that. I've heard of that. Yeah, that's been going a long time, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the thing is with the watch as well, the Sunu band, your hand has to stay still.
Yeah.
So whichever wrist you're wearing it on, that has to stay, because the sonar sensor faces forward. So it's basically your hand will be parallel to your leg. The palm of your hand will have to sit pretty much parallel to your leg as you walk.
Yes.
So
it's not
you are kind of you are kind of losing that hand.
Yeah.
Right.
Anyway, so it still works. Don't get me wrong. I've had people using it for just indoors.
Yeah.
New buildings, detecting doorways and everything, and it works a charm.
I do. I use it indoors, but you know, in buildings that I don't know. But
I look forward to my Sunu band demo tomorrow, and my Envision glasses demo tomorrow as well. So
and if you are talking to Sam tomorrow, because he's our colleague who has been in touch with WeWalk, I have a feeling he spoke to somebody in the UK who was representing them. Now, I don't know how much representation this person was doing in terms of tech support, or whether it was just somebody feeding emails, but it might be worth asking Sam.
Thank you, Stuart. I'll do that tomorrow. Thank you.
No problem.
Cheers, Arthur. Thank you. Right, I'm just going to quickly answer Christine's question. Christine, the Ultra Cane is basically a cane with built-in sonar, so it creates the vibration of when obstacles are in front of you. It's quite a heavy unit because the top section of the cane is what they've built the sonar system into, so it's a lot heavier than the standard cane to use. But they work, and they sold one heck of a lot of them, so something must have gone right with them. With regards to the buzz clip, this is a wearable. So basically, what it is, and it's saying it literally clips onto clothing. So if you've got your lapel onto your zipper on your coat, even clip it into your pocket of your trousers. And what that's doing is that's using sonar as well, but that's vibrating back to you. The difference with a buzz clip as well is you can have that connected through your iPhone or Android phone. So you can connect that up, have an in-ear earbud in, and it'll give you distances to how far away you are from things.
The buzz clip got an app. I didn't know that.
I'm sure it has, or I might have just completely made that up.
I didn't think it had an app. But
I have been known to make things up occasionally.
I'll take your word for it, because I can't prove it.
I am a salesman after all, so the odd fabrication does fall in occasionally. But basically, with the buzz clip the bonus is with it, you can wear it on your midriff. So what it will do is it will cover height as well as low. So hitting low branches and stuff like that is it does help, because it will pick up a really good area. Right. Anyway, I'm finished.
You know what, Carl? You could even clip it to your NaviBelt.
Yeah.
So then you'd have the best of both, wouldn't you? You'd have the NaviBelt with the buzz clip to it, and then you'd get the vibration of the object location.
The only thing is, I think with the buzz clip is it does vibrate quite well, and if you have got it on a winter coat on the outside, it has to be quite a tight fitting jacket, because otherwise you won't actually feel the vibration.
Yeah.
Anyway, I've waffled for far too long. We've got Alan Fitzgerald. If you could unmute yourself, Alan.
We've had Alan here before as well, regular attendee.
He muted and then unmuted himself, all in the same movement.
Let's try again, Alan.
Oh, you did it again.
We had you for a split second. No.
I think it's literally a double tap on the button that you're doing, rather than maybe a treble tap on the if you're using the phone. That's it. We've got you.
We have you.
Yeah, sorry, the Zoom lost focus. Yeah, a couple of things there, which I rather like this device. It sort of sounds better. To do with partial sight, I think this is excellent. There might be an example, for example, you're walking across a park and you can't see the other side, so you can take a bearing, and that would be really handy for someone like myself. And also, I thought that you can put, if you're walking down the street and you're looking for a particular house number, you could put that in as a waymark. And the other question I really want to come on to is, and I think I know the answer to this, does it work like in the underground?
Yeah, it does. It does work in, well, the belt does, but the app may not, because it needs signal for the GPS. So the belt certainly works anywhere.
But that's impressive, because it's not GPS then.
No, the belt doesn't use GPS. It's got a built-in compass in the box.
Ah, that's great.
So it doesn't need any signal from the outside to actually work.
That's fantastic.
So if you're on the underground, you can definitely put it on beeline mode and walk along the platform without veering.
See, for myself, I recently lost most of my sight, and one of the problems I have, because my hearing's not very good, I can't always tell when I'm walking around a corner. Yeah. And I think this would be absolutely superb.
Yeah, yeah. Because if you walk around a corner and you've got it in beeline mode, it'll veer the opposite direction. So if you've got the vibrate at your stomach and you turn right, it'll move to your left. So you'll know immediately you turn right.
I'll be on the phone tomorrow, Steve.
No, it's a super device. I mean, I know, again, like Carl, I'm a salesman, but I'm also a blind user. I'm actually using it.
Oh, that's it. Pick on me because I'm sighted. Oh, yeah, I know. Yeah, that old.
Yeah, sighted people get paid in the neck. Oi.
Tell him. Yeah, that's it. I told you. That's 2 slaps you get now.
I can actually slap him though.
She can, yeah.
No, feel free. Do it on there. We'll put this on YouTube. Blind man beaten by wife live on YouTube.
No, that's not my wife. No, please, no.
Oh, it's not, is it? Oh, no.
God, Carl, you're going to start gossip on YouTube.
Yeah, I know.
Now.
Do you know what? And on that note, thank you very much, Alan. We'll move on to the next one.
My wife isn't sighted. That's Debbie.
Yeah, I just realised.
Poor Angie won't be happy.
We have Emma Mead again. Emma?
Back for a second time.
Come in, Emma.
Hi, Emma.
Right, I'm going to just move on to the next one quickly then. We have Norman Octon. Norman, if you could unmute yourself, please.
Hello.
Hi there, Norman.
Hi, Norman.
Excellent. Hello.
Hi.
Hello, Steve.
Hello.
Yeah, it's quite an expensive product.
It is.
Can one pay by installments?
We're working on that. I can't say any more at this moment, but we are working actively on that, aren't we, Deb?
Yeah.
So we will have some news in probably a week or two.
And have you got a number of them in stock?
We don't stock them. Many.
Okay.
We don't stock many of them because they're different sizes.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
The actual belt is, you have to have different sizes belts. So, so when you order one, we get personal with you and say, what's your waist size?
Yeah. So you've just got a sort of just-in-time system, really. Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, we'll probably have a couple of them because they'll send.
Yeah.
It's just the boxes. Yeah.
Okay. Thanks, Steve. Thanks.
With that, actually, as part of Norman's question, I'm going to put you under the cosh now. What are you like with shipping and delivery? Obviously, it seems as these are coming in from Germany.
Well, at the moment, as you know, because I've seen on your website as well, you're having issues with Brexit as well, aren't you?
I don't know what you're talking about.
We are having just a few, yeah.
How very well dare you?
We've got the same kind of issues, but what we found, and I mean, I've brought in a lot of stuff now from CareTech in Austria and things like that. Generally, we get them in about a week to 10 days.
It's just to let them know, because obviously I know there's been a few customs issues. And the commodity codes that you have to send off literally for every single shipment that comes into the country.
Yes, and what the heck is a commodity code for the belt?
You need to have a word with James, because I think it might come down for the same thing as what A lot of our products do.
Yeah.
And apparently there is, because what somebody told me from one of the delivery companies, there is a book or a large catalogue of commodity codes.
There is.
Apparently there is. Yeah.
You can literally Google commodity code for specific thing. But I watched James doing it the other day, and it came under the heading of nuclear reactors and something else. I was like, holy smoke! This is literally we're just importing a nuclear reactor. That's fine.
Just importing all sorts of stuff, Steve.
Yeah, customer dropping it off tomorrow. Yeah.
And then of course, when you import stuff now, you're getting charged extra, aren't you? For
definitely.
Coming in and things.
It's gone mad. Right, we're just going to quickly move on to Martin Lawler. Martin, can you unmute, please?
Martin from fellow Irish.
How's it going? Well,
hi Martin, good to hear you.
How's it going, Steve?
Hello, Martin.
Very interested in the NaviBelt. That product seems like a really nice, good piece of kit.
It's clever. It's clever.
Do you need to have a smartphone app to use it fully?
No, like I said at the beginning of the demo, no, you don't, because you can use it in compass or beeline mode without the app at all.
Okay.
So in compass mode, it tells you what direction you're facing. So you'll know whether you're facing north, south, southeast, whatever. In beeline mode, it'll vibrate constantly at your stomach to help you to walk straight. And then if you veer, it'll move. So if you veer left, it'll move to the right side of your body.
All right. Okay. Thanks very much.
You're welcome.
Really enjoyed the presentation.
Thank you.
Steve, just another question for you. Are you still selling the NavTrace 1?
Yes.
Yes. How is that going?
Not too bad. Not too bad. It fits and starts, but it's an interesting device if you want a standalone GPS,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, Steve. Thank you.
Cheers, Martin.
Thanks, Martin. Thanks a million.
Brilliant. Right. We're getting a few more hands.
Ooh.
Let me. I do apologise for the ones that have already asked a question. Oh, I've just got rid of Emma by accident now. We're just going to go to. I am terrible. We're just going to go to Donald Wilson. No.
You have email.
I think Donald had a problem with his microphone last time.
It's Giles.
Giles, apologies, Giles. Steve's getting plenty of email.
No, it's gone now. Faded it down.
Hi, Giles.
Okay.
We
can you hear me?
Hello, Giles. Yep.
Okay. Hello. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Not sure. I'm Donald Wilson.
Oh, hang on. I've got both of you on now. Bear with me 2 seconds. Oh. It's like buses, isn't it, mate? You wait for ages and two come along at once. Right, Giles, if you don't mind, sir, I'm just going to mute you for 2 seconds because you came through really quickly. So we're just going to deal with Donald. Thank you. Right, Donald, it's all yours. The floor is yours.
Yeah, what is the cost of this equipment? I know it might have been on before, but I've been going on and off with this machine of mine. Yeah. So if you can tell me what is roughly about the cost of this equipment.
It's $1,995. That's not including VAT, but you're probably going to be exempt from VAT anyway.
Yeah, is it VAT'd?
Sorry?
Do you pay VAT?
It's exempt from VAT, so you wouldn't pay VAT.
Oh, that's good. Yeah.
For individuals.
Yeah. For individuals.
Well, that's all I wanted. Yeah.
Okay, brilliant.
Okay,
thank you for that, Donald.
Good to hear you.
Right.
And then Giles.
Audio now unmuted alert. Okay, hello. So this is the first Wednesday webinar I've attended.
You're
very
welcome, Giles. You're very welcome.
I know Steve's name through several blind tech forums.
Hello, Giles.
Hi. I don't find the price that attractive, but the walking in a straight line feature would be incredibly helpful for me. I just thought I'd share a bit of a recollection. I did some orientation and mobility training on Swansea University campus a couple of years ago. And the problem is I became visually impaired in my left eye first for many years. So I automatically turn my head to the right so that my right eye is more central. And as a result, my whole body shifts right. And then I therefore end up walking very leftwards. And one day, my tutor was letting me walk down the center of the campus. I needed to get to the library, at which point I would be able to smell the coffee coming from the Costa. if the wind was blowing in the right direction. And then I'd take about 15 more paces, turn a hard left and get to the English department. Except once I turned such a hard left and I didn't know where I'd gone. I turned a full 360 degrees and got back to the library, and I had no idea that's what I'd done. So that Beeline app would be absolutely incredible for me.
Yeah, because if you'd done that with the belt and you had that on Beeline, it would have, if you turned 350 degrees, 60 degrees, it would have been at your back.
Yes, indeed.
You know you would have fully turned.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that idea a lot.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Okay.
Thanks, Giles.
Thank you, Giles.
Do I need to...
Oh, sorry. No, you don't need to unmute yourself. Sorry about that. I was a little bit quick with the old trigger. We have Emma Mead back. Emma. Come in, Emma. There we go. Hello.
Right.
Hello,
yes. If you are in a house and you put, say, you want to find the living room, will it do that sort of thing?
I'm not quite sure what you mean.
You're not, well, you're in a, yeah.
You can't find the living room, right? But if your back is to the front door, for example, right, you'll know what way you're facing by the compass mode.
Yes.
Right. So as you're walking along, your belt will veer as you move. So if you go left, your belt will veer to the right. So you'll know that you've moved. You're off true, if you like. So if you could, you know, then you could. I mean, I listen for doorways, you know, so I hear the doorway.
Oh yes.
And I would find the doorway doing it that way. So the belt, no. The answer is no. The belt wouldn't find the living room for you.
No.
It's not quite that clever. But it would give would give you a sense of direction as to whether you were walking straight or not.
Yes. Yeah, that's no. I asked this question because I'm having to move between addresses at the moment because I had a fire.
Right.
And obviously you have to learn your way in each house.
Yeah.
And it was just because it's topical at the moment. I just wondered if it did that.
Well, you know, you've got just a thought here, Emma, because I don't have any, but you know, you've got an iPhone.
Yes.
If you buy some AirTags, have you heard of Apple's new AirTags?
What's an AirTag?
Okay. So an AirTag is a tag that you can attach to your keyring or any device you want. So you could attach it to a door handle, right? And then you can tell your iPhone to find your AirTag.
Oh, it's a bit like a locating device.
Yes, they're designed so you don't lose things.
Yes,
in theory, but it's also very good to help you find things.
Yeah, and they're $29.99 currently for one, or they're £99 for four. So you can get those from the Apple website. And you could put them all on each room of the house. You could put them on each door handle, and then you could help Apple could then, or the iPhone could then help you find your AirTags. There you go.
So is it the Apple Store or the Apple?
Yes.
The Apple
on the Apple Store. Yeah.
Yeah, and AirTag, AIR.
AirTags, yeah, AIR tags. So there you are. I'll let you have that for free.
And you'll actually, and they're quite prominently on the Apple Store at the moment because they're new products, so they're shouting about them everywhere. So you should find them quick enough, Emma.
Yeah.
But shop around because you might be able to find them cheaper than what Apple are actually doing them as well.
Oh right.
Well,
so
actually,
what someone like Amazon or?
Yeah, no, there's another one called Tile, which is even better apparently.
They're what I use.
Yeah.
What kind? How do you spell that?
Just Tile, T-I-L-E.
I have T-I-L-E.
Yeah, I have one for my wallet, in my car keys, everything.
Yeah.
And that'll pick it, and you can just press the button on your phone, and it rings it.
Yeah, I use Tile as well because I can't use Apple AirTags on my Android, so I use Tile. They're quite good.
So where do you get those from?
You can get those on Amazon.
On Amazon, yeah, Tile. Yeah,
Tile.
And they dropped the prices recently as well because I just bought some more.
And also Tile.com.
Yeah.
Tile.com is the website. Yeah.
Tile.com.
Tile, T-I-L-E.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought that. Yeah. It's all right. It's all going in. It's all going in.
No, they are really good though, to be fair. And it's like I say, they're really handy just to put on your keys and even as put one in the back of your phone because you can get the thin wallet ones, which I have, and you could put it in your phone case. But even though you're actually saying that doesn't really work very well, does it?
What's
how you can ring?
Phone case.
All right. I was having a brain moment.
We have to allow for that.
Because what I did, I put one in my daughter's phone case.
Oh,
when her phone's off, I can find it because she drains the battery down the little one.
If you're like me and you've got an Android and an iPhone, you could do that. You could put one in the back of your
Makes
Android.
sense, yeah.
And then one in the back of your iPhone, and find the one with the other.
No, well, this is very useful because obviously when you're in a new place and you know you get the first couple of days and where did I put this?
Yeah.
You know, the AirTag would be a very useful thing.
Yeah.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Thank you.
Emma. Brilliant. Thank you very much.
What I don't know, Emma, is whether the tile would work on your iPhone because you've got quite an old iPhone, haven't you?
8 Plus?
Sorry, the AirTags. I don't know if they work on the 8 Plus because that's not iOS 14, is it?
Yeah, I think you can go up to iOS 14.
Yes, I'm on about
the 8 Plus,
yes.
is it? Yeah, in that case, it would work. Yeah.
I think they stopped it at the 7.
I've got number 5. I updated it last week.
Good.
1405.
Well, it's 14.5.1 is out now, as of yesterday.
Yeah.
I haven't even updated mine yet.
All right.
Yeah.
Yes. No, I got that sorted.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Okay.
But certainly the belt would, to answer your original question, Emma, the belt would certainly help you with direction finding in a house.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah. I obviously did the right thing coming here today. Thank you.
Thank you. Right, we have one more. Mr. Wilson's back. Donald.
Where's your trousers? No,
I've tried my hardest not to actually sing that 3 times.
Yeah, we could break into song before we finish.
Let the wind blow high, let the wind blow low.
Donald, you might need to get yourself unmuted. I think there was somebody helping you last time to unmute.
There we go.
There you are.
Sorry, I clicked the wrong button there. I'm sorry about that. I didn't mean to call you back.
No problem.
No, that's no problem. Don't worry about that. Thank you very much.
Nice to hear you anyway. Thank you.
Right, we have one more. It's Mr. Shearer.
Not actually Mr. Shearer, it's Janet. But...
Oh, Mrs. Shearer.
That was very presumptuous of us.
It says David on there. I'm not psychic.
I know, Janet. How are you doing, Janet?
Yeah, I'm doing fine. It sounds very interesting. It's a bit on the pricey side. What I was wondering is if you were looking, say, for a house or a shop, and I know you'd mark it, does it vibrate to let you know which side of the road it is on? You know, because you said when you get there.
Yeah. If you set the destination and the house is on your right, and you set it to beeline and turn by turn mode, yes, it would then pulse at your right hand side all the time because you wouldn't be looking at the house. You'd be walking along, and the house would be on your right hand side. So yeah, it would pulse on your right hand side.
When you got there?
No, when you get there, it would actually vibrate both sides of your body to tell you've arrived.
Yeah. But what I was trying to get at is
if you have the road, if you're walking along the road and your house is on your right, you're obviously going to need to turn right to cross the road, aren't you? Right. Yes. So as you move towards it, it's going to tell you there's a right turn because you need to cross the road.
Okay,
right?
that's I knew it would do it for roads, but sometimes it doesn't. You know, the apps don't always do it.
It would have to do it if the house is on your right hand side. In your scenario, I think yes, it would have to do it.
Yeah, because I mean, say I don't know, I can't remember for certain, but like Blind Square, I think quite unhelpful. It doesn't tell you.
I am making sense, guys, aren't I? If the house is on your right hand side, it's over the opposite side of the road to you, and you're walking via GPS. The GPS is normally going to tell you to turn right, isn't it? So the belt would tell you to turn right.
To turn right, yeah.
Yeah. They don't all. That's what. And I've got a second question. You said that if you were using an iPhone, it would use Apple Maps. If you chose, could you ask it to use Google Maps?
Not on iOS, not at the moment.
No.
That's a licensing thing.
Yeah, because I use a lot of my apps with Google Maps because I
So do I.
Okay.
Oh, we know Google is better than Apple, but that's another.
Hey.
But okay.
That's a whole session in itself, Steve. You can come back for that one. We'll bring you back again.
It was 1,999, was it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you, Janet. Oh, sorry.
Thanks,
hang
Janet.
on. I've just muted you. Do apologise for that. I keep doing that to people. That is all the hands and all the questions.
That's cool.
All right. Well, Steve, thank you so much. It's always great to have you because you always draw a great crowd, and you're always bringing us interesting tech. So, do you want to give your website and contact details where people can get in touch?
Yeah. Before that, let me just say thank you. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to do it.
It's always great to have you, Steve.
Hopefully, get the belt out there and stuff out there because I love it. As I say, I'm a sole user on it as well as a reseller, as it were. And so, yeah, if you want to get more information about the belt, you can go to www.comproom.co.uk/NaviBelt, all one word, or you can go to FeelSpace.de. That's FeelSpace.de. My website is www.comproom.co.uk, and you can email me at steve@comproom.co.uk. And of course, you can phone me up in the old traditional way, 01438 742286.
Thanks a million, Steve. And please come back again. Come back when you have something new to show us. You always find really cool tech. So we'd love to have you back anytime. You're always welcome.
So do you. You're trying to beat me at the moment, aren't you?
No, you're doing great stuff, and it's really nice to collaborate and work together with this stuff.
Yeah,
so
it is.
It's a small industry, so it's good. Thanks to everybody for today. As always, thanks to Carl. We're back in 2 weeks' time, and there's a few new people on the session today. If you'd like to come onto our mailing list and hear about upcoming webinars, send an email to sales@sightandsound.co.uk, and we'll get that sorted for you. So until then, in 2 weeks, stay safe and well. Thanks again to Steve, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Stuart.
Thanks, Carl.